You are now listening to the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast, a weekly review of Monday Night Raw and other wrestling-related topics. And here's your hosts, Peter Day and Jake Grandi.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
What's up?
Hello, boys and girls. Boot 'em out to the trunk.
Turn the bass up.
You are now listening to, and we're going to get it right this goddamn time, episode 79. 79, people. That's 79 fucking weeks. That's 79 episodes. You know what that means? It's 79 of these motherfuckers of the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast. And already getting updates from Instagram.
Hell yeah.
On my fucking iPad.
Hello,
Jake.
How you doing, Peter?
I'm super. Thanks for asking. And anyone who's be like, damn man, Peter's gonna wear that fucking Snap Code shirt like a motherfucker. If you are watching the show on YouTube, I got product to sell. All right, so don't hold it against me that I wear this fucker every week.
Yeah, you can screenshot this and put it a part of your story.
You definitely could, and say, hey, go to cutthemusic.etsy.com. The homie Peter is selling Snapcode apparel. So, what's up?
Nothing, man. Chilling, man. You know, no more football anymore, so there's definitely a void there. I got really, jumped. I went with it. But
it was a weird weekend.
But I do have something to bring up. There was a blue check on Mike Jones for the people that remember last week. A verified account. Mike Jones did like my tweet about Rusev.
Oh, God.
That was a verified
How does it make
thing.
you feel?
Yeah, oh, great. I looked. It was a blue check right there. Everyone gets their 15 minutes of fame. Mike Jones did like my tweet. I feel like that's
shameless.
Pivotal moment in my life.
Shameless.
That really is one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me.
Really?
No, I mean, not ever happened, but that's pretty fucking cool.
That's crazy. I think when I first got on Twitter, I got followed by the certified Miley Cyrus.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, what? That's weird. And it was okay then.
There you go.
And then she was on it and she was showing people I guess GPS and where she was, and then it vanished. It just went away. And then it came back and it was like she had a publicist take care of it. But I thought it was pretty fun. I was like, Miley Cyrus is following me. That's
the only real
weird.
star outside of wrestling I follow is Kanye, and I was really excited this week because I was like live. I watched him call out Mark Zuckerberg for not calling him live on Twitter. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that guy. He.
I
love Kanye, by the way. I'm one of the biggest Kanye apologists. I'm almost like with Kanye. I'm like Jake with WWE booking. Just a total apologist for the shit. And I am with him, but he has his moments where I'm just like, I understand you're like the greatest heel on the planet right now, but stuff like that where you're expecting things from people that you think you're owed, when you think you're owed awards, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But you're not owed these things. Or these people, he wants to rub shoulders with all these fashion elites. They don't want him in there. Okay, that's just the way life goes. And then I knew nothing about this Zuckerberg thing. But what does he owe you?
I don't know.
Kanye?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But they were ridiculous and they were entertaining. He's got a new album that came out.
Yeah, but
I've heard a little bit of it, like the bits I could hear for free, and it just sounds like I don't know. It's not. I'm gonna keep the bar low, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be as good as the first three albums.
I bet it's gonna be great. I mean, I loved.
You like Jesus?
I loved it. I mean, I would say out of the 10 songs, I liked 8 of them. A lot.
Nice.
And it's concept stuff. I like how he's creating. He's setting trends. You know what I'm saying? He's setting some ridiculous trends, and I just go, there's not a lot of people that you can't get that out of. Most people are just they're gonna ride behind something. All right, that's hot. Let me get behind this. 9 times out of 10, it's Kanye that was in front of it, and then people follow up, and so I can't wait to hear it. Maybe I like it, maybe I won't, but nevertheless, I'm going to listen to it. He's one of the only new hip hop artists that I check for. I love him.
Oh yeah, I like Kanye too.
But we're not here to talk about Kanye and hip hop.
This is true.
We are here to talk wrestling with you jabronis. By the way, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, and if you have I haven't even brought up Tumblr. I always post stuff on Tumblr, but Tumblr. This is how you can check out your Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling. And share this shit with your friends.
Oh yeah.
And before we go any further, you want to give your best and the worst? Because you said you had a super best.
Oh, I think I gave it up. Yeah, Mike Jones. Yeah.
Then what's your worst?
My worst.
It's the first 4 minutes of this podcast. Come on.
I don't know. What's your worst? Let me hear. I got to think about this a little bit. What's your best? What's your worst?
I would say my best, definitely, if I was to say if I had a best, it was the Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles on SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was great. Hell, even versus The Miz. But I'll say AJ Styles versus Jericho. If you checked out Peter Talks SmackDown, I talk about that. That match was a SummerSlam caliber match. I loved it.
Oh, it was great.
It was bad ass.
Hell yeah.
The worst of the week was the finish of the AJ Styles Chris Jericho match, where you look at AJ, his first victory over Jericho. It was him barely squeaking out a win. Mm-hmm. And then you take Thursday, he went down in flames to a code breaker, a very decisive victory for Jericho. And I just don't think it weighs up. A win is a win, I get it. But we can't say that about John Cena and how he loses. 9 times out of 10 is some weird, wacky thing that happens where he loses. It's no definitive boom, like Daniel Bryan, the kick, the knee that won the championship. Del Rio, the kick to the face, right? But there's no finisher. There's no real finisher that he goes down to. AJ Styles, I feel, should have some more momentum. He should be fed all the guys from the Social Outcast. At least get him through for 4 weeks without a loss, and then give him something to sink our teeth in so we can get through who he is as a wrestler, get through all his finishers, and build up some steam. And I just felt like booking him right off the bat, just like they did Kevin Owens and even Stevens booking, where he's going to get an early loss. I think it really fucks with his momentum. It fucks with anybody and everybody's momentum coming into the
Fed.
The company red fucking hot.
Yeah, well, my worst this week is gonna be the snow. It snowed on Valentine's Day. I'm a server, so I lost money there.
You feel my pain from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And it hit right at 7:00, and that's right at peak dinner hour. So I feel like I could have made a lot more. But that being said, that's not a bad problem to have.
What are you passing up with that loss of dough? What do you budgeting right now?
Potential. That's like $100.
I know, but like, what is that $100? What is that 100? Bud, what is that?
Oh.
Some beer? Is it a car note? Is it a cell phone bill? Like, what the hell?
Nothing big. Yeah, probably like groceries.
And
maybe like a little bit. Yeah, maybe Bud.
So you're
beer.
So you're going from steak to ramen in one fell swoop.
It's not bad. It's not a bad, chef, set bet, but it is, like a ramen week. It's
ramen raids.
It's ramen week, like a
you got ramen raids over
peanut
here?
butter and jelly type,
That ain't that bad, man. I am hurting financially. I'm fucking hurt, but I still got to get my taco. I got my Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, there you go.
I got my Taco Tuesday. Tonight is gonna be. I don't even know what tonight's gonna be. It might just be rice.
Rice Wednesday.
Rice Wednesday.
You're riding high on Taco Tuesday, but then when Rice Wednesday comes.
Oh, God. Rice Wednesday hits you square in the nuts.
I hear you.
The low blow, definitely. So
we got a lot to talk about, though.
Lots to talk about. But
you want to jump into the New Japan show, maybe the news?
No, let's talk news. Let's talk news first.
Okay. Well, I mean...
the biggest of all the news was the global cruiserweight
series.
Yeah, global cruiserweight series be on the WWE network, where the WWE is giving an open invitation, far and wide from all sides of this round thing we call planet Earth, to come to Full Sail University and show what they got. Do they have what it takes to be the greatest cruiserweight on the planet? Probably one of the most brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
And one of the most marginalizing ideas that the WWE has come up with.
Sure, it's going to be a 10-week series, 32 wrestlers. They're going to focus on non-contracted guys, but they said they're not going to exclude contracted guys. And it starts July 13th. It's going to be Wednesdays at 9 o'clock, right after NXT on the WWE Network. I feel like this is fucking amazing. This is great. Just your brain, it's just so much fun to think about who they're going to put on there, but then you can't get your hopes up too high because you got the TNAs, the ROHs of the world picking up guys, but it's definitely going to be really good if they focus on a little bit of their key guys from the main roster in NXT and then bring in a bunch of guys from like Evolve or
PWG.
Yeah, maybe other places in the world. Yeah, PWG.
Or like straight up contractor contracts.
Yeah, we saw that with Jushin Thunder Liger. They pulled him in, a New Japan Pro Wrestling guy from New Japan and from Ring of Honor, who was also having a show that night. They pulled a New Japan guy. So they can do things like that. It's
they can do what the fuck they want, by the way. I mean, you really look at what the WWE is, and I don't give a shit. I don't care. And I honestly would believe that anybody, and I'm on record to even say this before, any wrestling promotion that will prevent any and every one of their wrestlers to keep them from working with the WWE, you're fucking stupid. You're not worth,
especially if it's only one night or two nights.
You're not worth the 3 letters in your goddamn promotion, because you know what happens when that person can branch off and do something with the WWE, get that main stage, that helps your brand.
For sure.
Like, it says, hey, you can actually get, because CWF does that all the time. They always talk about the accomplishments of Everett and the caveman. Say his name.
Oh, Trevor Lee.
They talk about the accolades of the other places they've gone. So, like at New Japan, again, I still think they're not angry at Jushin Thunder Liger that he went to NXT. That's a lot of eyes on him. People will look into where he came from.
Oh, I don't think they were angry. That was just an example of showing you what, that things could be done. Like, I know, like, Trevor Lee is in TNA. He's the X Division champion. But, I would love to see him in this thing. I don't know if...
You goddamn right.
Yeah, and then, like, there's tons of guys. As far as, like, I'd love to see Drew Gulak in this. And then I'm sure there's tons of guys.
Drew Gulak. Come on now.
Oh, what? Who would you...
No, like, who the fuck is he? You went to the depths of the wrestling pits.
Oh, dude,
to bring up that name.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What promotion is he in? Where is he from?
Drew Gulak?
Who the fuck is Drew Gulak? I don't know who the fuck Drew Gulak is.
Oh, he's in PWG. He's in Evolve. He started out in CZW. He is an amazing technical wrestler. He is a little smaller, so I guess that's always been his knock. But he's really, really fucking good.
Drew Gulak. Like, I don't know who the fuck
you
that is.
You mentioned PWG. You should know Drew Gulak.
I know PWG staples. You know what I'm saying? Because as much as I've watched it, which it isn't that much, and I need to watch some more.
You guys, you're listening out there, Peter. Let Peter know who Drew Gulak is on the interwebs.
Drew Gulak. Fuck Drew Gulak. All right, Drew Gulak could eat a dick.
Well, who would you want to see? Who would you want to see, Peter?
Well, here's the thing. I like to see that Mike dude that does the kicks that Naomi does now.
Mike Bailey?
I would like to see Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
I would like to see Ricochet. And I would like to see Matt Sydal. I would like to see ACH in there. I would like to see a lot of guys. If this is what it's supposed to be, like what they're going for, because they're going after the indies. Like, they're really going after the indies to have this match. And you can book super matches on this sort of like open challenge. It's just Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Say bruh.
Who else, man? I mean, it's endless. There are so many great smaller guys. Was it 205 is what they're asking for?
I think, yeah, under 205 or 205 and under.
So, you can bring over all these guys and it's like, it's fun. That's the thing. That's the thing about this. It looks like something that's going to be really fun for like basically a modified cruiserweight all-star extravaganza. That's what it is. It's almost like the all-star show, like the Pro Bowl or the fucking NBA All-Stars, but they're going to work hard. Actually, they're actually going to put up some shit. Big stage, WWE Network. I don't know how much they're going to get paid, if they're even going to get paid at all. They're going to throw the whole, I'd imagine they're going to throw the whole, this is a great opportunity for you to give us content kind of thing. The marginalizing part is, if you're labeled a cruiserweight, that's one of the major reasons why the WWE got rid of the cruiserweight name, because the wrestlers were getting smaller. And one of the big problems in WCW was your Eddie Guerreros, your Dean Malenko's, your Chris Jericho's. They weren't given shots at the heavyweight championship. And if anything, they were dog food to the heavyweights.
Yeah, did you read? There was an article that I read on PW Insider. It was an interview with Triple H, and he said he doesn't know if this is going to spill out to a division. He doesn't even know if it's going to be an annually thing. He wants it to be an annual thing. That's the goal, they said. But if it does spill over to a cruiserweight,
I most certainly hope not. I'll say that. I wish for the matches, but again, the dream of being a professional wrestler is to be the heavyweight champion. No matter what size, you look at your Rey Mysterios, you look at your Bret Harts, and your Michael,
Shawn Michaels,
and those guys, your Chris Jericho.
What about Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's endless. You know how many babies are out there in the wrestling world, wrestling babies there are right now because of those 5 guys, single-handedly, not because of Hulk Hogan, not because of Lex Luger, not because they were like, well, I can't be larger than life. I can't be this big bad. I can't be Sid. I can't be Goldberg, but I can be Chris Benoit. I can be Eddie Guerrero. I relate to them. They're my size. All they got to do, you're Daniel Bryant's. All I have to do is work hard, work my ass off, and then I have an opportunity at the grandest prize in wrestling. It says a lot. And when you bring up that cruiserweight, you go like, here's your ceiling, little man. And when you do try to sniff anything above that, we're just going to feed you to Sheamus. We're just going to feed you to Braun Strowman. We're just going to feed you to fucking Roman Reigns. And whatever momentum you had on the little cruiserweight division you had, that little X division, it's nothing. It's nothing because the big boys up here. You whoop-de-whoops and flip-de-doos is down here. We ain't got time for that up here.
Well, I mean,
we're gonna hit you with a clothesline.
Triple H talked about all that stuff in the interview. I thought it was very interesting. He said it's not just gonna be flips. He says it's literally gonna be the best workers, wrestlers under the under 205, and they're gonna focus on non-contracted talents, but that doesn't exclude. He even mentioned Neville and Kalisto. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, I would even throw. I would see how big Ziggler is, see how big Kofi is. I mean, I would put those guys.
I definitely would not put Kofi in there. I would put Xavier Wood in there before I put Kofi.
I would say Kofi is a way better wrestler than Xavier Woods.
Oh, I'm not talking in terms of level of. I mean, it would be fun for him.
But I'm saying if that's all
I feel like Kofi's bigger than that.
No, that's what I'm saying. If this is supposed to be the best in the world, your success shouldn't matter up and down. Bring these guys in.
All right, Jake. Don't take that comment literally, okay? Don't take it literally. The best in the world. Don't take that literally. They mean the best in the world outside of what you already know from the WWE, because they are the best in the world.
Okay, well, I mean, I just thought that would be interesting to even throw that out there to see like a Kofi versus all these other names we've mentioned.
It's just like the ROH up and coming. What do they call that shit?
The top prospect tournament.
Yes, that's basically what this is.
Speaking of which, I would love to see Lio Rush and Jason Kincaid. They wrestled in the NC tapings, and that just aired this week. and they killed it. They stole the show, and I can definitely see, like, I would love to see one of those guys on the show.
There's a lot of great talent. 32 guys. It's not like we can fantasy book this. We don't even know who the fuck's in it. We know who could fantasy book who could be in it, but the fantasy book who's facing each other. It's just like, well, I look forward to getting the bracket. And I say this, and I say one more thing.
I would love for it to be like a March Madness type of
deal. Dude, fucking straight up. I think it's going to be fun as hell. And you know what? They wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for the success of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Sure, and NXT in general, I would say.
That's their model. Like, that was like a great model, like King of the Ring kind of thing. But like, let's expand it a little bit. Let's play around. Let's move some stuff around. And that Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic was, I would say, extremely successful. And being the fact that was successful, they can do things like this. Man. And you can't beat this, man.
Sure.
You can't. And thank God for the Dusty Rhodes for really setting up things like this for the future, for not only for us fans, but for the network. And if this is popular on the network, maybe they'll film it like they're saying that they may just film it like Tough Enough or something like that. And I go like, I hope not.
They said in the interview, he definitely said this is going to be an in-ring television show, but they were going to get you to know who these guys were on Twitter and on WWE.com. And they said they were just going to like post stories about these guys, and then that's how they would reveal who's in it. So it's going to be a build-up online, and then so that's how you learn who they are, and then you tune in and watch the, I guess it would be a tournament or a series, maybe like how they do in the World Cup or they do in like the G1, have like blocks and then build to a tournament. I don't know how they would do it. They had 10 weeks, so I'm pretty excited.
But the surefire guy that you just know has to be in it, that you think it's not necessarily a long shot. Maybe there's a shot, but there's a long enough shot that he may not be. And it's like, well, if they don't get this guy in there, they're missing out. Or if this guy can't get in it, shame on whoever won't let him do it.
Well, I mean, I guess I already mentioned them. I would say it's a tie between Trevor Lee and Drew Gulak.
Trevor Lee? I think Trevor Lee's my guy, too.
Yeah, definitely Trevor Lee. But, I mean, he's...
Because Tommaso Ciampa's in there, and what you call is going to be in there, Gargano.
Yeah. I don't know how the terms of his contract work. I do know I've heard things where, like, if you wrestle in TNA, they kind of don't really want you in WWE. But I'm sure there'd be tons of exceptions opened up for this thing. So I would love for, like, I mean, the X Division champion Trevor Lee to be on the.
That would be so good.
That would be wild.
That would be awesome for TNA. That would be great for TNA. It'd be great for Trevor Lee because it's like, you're the best. You're bringing in someone from CMLL.
Of course I would love for him to have the belt and everything. But even if he didn't have the belt, the buzz on the internet, everyone would then find out that he was the X Division champion.
Bring that belt, dog. Bring the belt. You're the best. I am the best in this.
That would be cool.
And then CMLL champion or something. You get the AAA champion to come over. You get the PWG champion coming over. It's like, oh, they said the best is here, son. I'm the best. You got guys coming in from New Japan. The junior heavyweight. Like, that guy came over. If Kenny Omega just said, hey, what's up, y'all? Intercontinental champ. Like, I heard there was a fucking party going on there. It was really good. That would be fun.
See, that's and then I would also say, Drew Gulak would be another one. But what about you?
Stop bringing him up.
Hey, you need to look him up. I'm sure I think he's been an Evolve champion. He's been a CZW champion.
Who's the guy with the tattoos? The last time I saw him was the last time I saw him.
I think you're speaking of Tommy End. He would be good in it, but I don't know if he might be over 205. I'm not sure. He's pretty tall.
He's tall, but he's not a thick guy. He's not a big guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but he would be amazing in it, and he would definitely be a little different than the flips, and he'd be different than the submissions.
Strikes.
Yeah, he would be a pure, and it's rare to see that outside of like these Japanese like never guys and
stuff. What a great gimmick he has too, because he comes off almost like a what do they call those fucking guys that. They do the knees and shit, Thai fighting. Like, he comes off like a Thailand fighter, like one of those. What the hell is the fucking name of that?
Thai fighter?
What the hell is the name of that fighting style?
Like Star Wars?
No, like they even did a movie about it not too long.
I think you're thinking of the kickboxing.
Like kickboxer, but
yeah.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, yeah.
Muay Thai. Oh, that guy! I love that guy. Well, anyway, you want to talk about something else?
Yeah. I mean, Barrett said that he was going to leave the company after it came up in July. I guess we're going to have to see if that's true.
His injuries were. If he left the company, he's done with wrestling.
You think so?
Yeah, and
You don't
He
think
has the pipes.
not even go to a TNA where it's already down in Florida,
No.
a place he's familiar with, and you go to the UK a lot, which is a place he's definitely familiar with.
No, I think his wrestling career is over. All the bangs, all the bruises. You look at just the landscape of the WWE and all the injuries. You look at Daniel Bryan. You looking at CTIs and concussions and all the things. Just the guy wants to walk at some point. And even though he got a good strong head start, Cena destroyed it. But the guy has pipes. The guy can talk. His wrestling is one thing, but his most valuable asset is his gift of gab. And if he can do something in that realm, I don't see why not.
You can also compare this to what you were telling me about before the show with the latest on Titus O'Neil.
Well, Titus, I don't know if he wants to quit wrestling. I think once a boy in the back, always a boy in the back. You never can take that out.
What makes you say this? What's the news on him?
Well, he sent out a tweet saying that Florida, the Florida Gators will be seeing me really soon.
Yeah.
It was kind of an open-ended tweet about him returning to be a Florida Gator.
Yeah.
And take what's happening with Titus O'Neil and the suspension and how petty it is, and you got motherfuckers telling him he's better than the WWE, especially people like Batista.
Well, he definitely knows. He left and he went. He's pissed at how things turned out when he last came back, and since he's left, Guardians of the Galaxy 007. He's been dropping bombs.
And and it's about self-worth. I think even if he wasn't to a caliber of, I guess, C-list celebrity, B-list celebrity, to be a wrestler is to make it to the WWE, to make it to that stage. It's one of the greatest opportunities you can get as a performer there in the performing business. Mm-hmm. You're given a million eyes TV. You get several million eyes TV. You get several thousands live, and you're on this main stage. And what you can do is use that and elevate that towards something else. It's you look at CM Punk. You look at a guy like The Rock. You look at CM Punk. I say his name loosely.
He got a contract right away with UFC and Marvel. It's pretty.
It was a great. This is great opportunities.
Yeah,
but you
Batista.
look at Batista. You look at The Rock. You look at Stone Cold. You look at Shawn Michaels. Those guys, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, they are all getting bigger outside of the WWE, and that's why I think
Cena's doing it now.
Maybe that's why, I think that might be why this is seen a little petty. Maybe at a different day and age, Vince McMahon could pull some shit like that. But yeah, I think nowadays, back in the day, you had them go to other companies. Now they might just go to other things. Even Johnny Mundo, or John Morrison became Johnny Mundo, and now I think he was in a movie that came out called Stuntman.
He's like a C movie.
Sure, but I'm saying
right now.
That's money though.
Why not? He's great at that.
I'm saying that's money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
money in the bank.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if you're looking at it as a career perspective, why not? Like you said, if you're on the mic, then why not just do that? I agree.
Well, for Wade Barrett especially, one of the best talkers in the business.
Yeah. But he's also a great worker too. It'd be a shame to have him go, but I can definitely see your point with him. He might just be have a bad taste in his mouth with the whole industry.
No, he has a bad taste in his mouth that he can't stay healthy. And what's the use of a worn down body moving forward when you're not gonna be at your peak? At some point, it's not like boom, all of a sudden you're on top of the wrestling world. No, I think that boat has come and gone. Mm-hmm. And his most valuable asset, his voice, his charisma, is something I think that needs to be focused and capitalized on. That he would probably go further than his in ring. Way further. I mean, the guy acting, he wants to go into acting too, by the way, which I think he could definitely do that. He could go the same route as Batista or, not necessarily The Rock, but no one can be The Rock. The Rock is a outlier, but there's opportunities for him. And just like Titus O'Neil, this guy, just his ambassadorship, just this dude who's this big, larger than life, big smile character who's doing all these positive things in the community and fatherhood and breast cancer awareness. It's Make-A-Wish. You know how many people would just lay down in the middle of the tracks to get that guy. You know, like to get that fuck it, come on over here, buddy, over here. We need that over here.
Yeah,
we
sure,
need that shit over here. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to be talked down from being fired. You know, it's like, nah, man. Motherfuckers need Titus O'Neil in their cogs and in their fucking gears, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, this is true. I guess that might be the news, that I would want to speak on. But we did watch.
Other than say Brie Bella, maybe.
Well, that's all rumors and speculation. Yeah, there's also rumors and speculation.
Karma.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio.
No, I was gonna say Mark Henry being hurt, but he tweeted out, he's like, it's just a hurt rib. I'll live. That's what he said. Other than that, I've just been reading. It was like speculations. He did need to be helped to the back, and there was kind of a little hiccup in the match. We'll get to it. But before we get to Raw, we both watched the New Beginning show from New Japan Pro Wrestling on it from Osaka.
That's all it was. It was a new beginning. It wasn't a good beginning.
Oh, I don't know. I like the show, but this is definitely not one of their bigger shows. But Peter, I mean, we'll just let him go. He did not like the show. I
didn't say I didn't like it. I just felt that it was extremely underwhelming. I mean, we're coming off Wrestle Kingdom 10. We're coming off amazing matches and a shift in the company.
Yeah, this is definitely like the backlash of shows and tours, that New Japan has.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
There was three matches that stood out. I would say the David Finlay versus Jay White, because just of the characters themselves. Like, I want to know more about these kids.
Sure, that was a great
Lions.
match. I was going to mention that too. Yeah, of course, Finlay being Fit Finlay's son wrestles in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I was just saying like the things that stood out. The title changes. Of what is it? The trios never belt.
Yeah,
I mean, that was intriguing. I didn't like the match too much, but again, stood
Yano
out.
and the Briscoes are one of that's my favorite combination of people of all time. I love the Briscoes. Love Yano. I love that would even be a team and even have the title for a little bit. But with that said, it does make more sense to have on the Bullet Club, and you got to make the Bullet Club look a little strong since they're losing.
We're gonna get there. I was just talking about the points that stand out for me, and then we're gonna go into the.
Oh, I was adding to it.
I know, but I'm skipping. I'm about to say, and Matt Sydal and Ricochet as the new junior tag team champions. The Ishii Shibata stood out to me, and Goto Okada was all right, but like those were to say that I didn't like it is incorrect.
Okay.
To say that it was a little underwhelming, got some. There you go. To say it's underwhelming, I just go. There was this sense in the air that I thought it was more of a mourning as in a death, more like a wake for the the lame duck appearance of both Gallows and Anderson. The fact that Shinsuke Nakamura's not there, even in the opening, one of the opening matches, the Funky Weapon guy. What's his name? His name is...
Taguchi?
Yep, Taguchi. He even gives him a shout out, and you got probably the biggest pop of the night. So that's all. I think it could have... All these gimmick matches, it really boiled down to 2 matches for this thing. And without further ado, you go ahead and kick off what you were starting with David Finlay and Jay White match.
Yeah, I was just saying it was interesting. I already said that. So
no, you wanted to go into Fit Finlay's son, and I went in. I found out that Fit Finlay's son, Jay White, they're just both young lions. Do you see them being like stars in the near future or down the road, or do you see them sort of like this is their peak, or they're going to be one of the next top stars in New Japan? Will they go to TNA? Will they go to WWE? Will they go over to PWG and try to evolve NXT in the horizon for both of those guys?
I mean, it's hard to pinpoint what exactly, but I do see a lot of promise, and I think I like Jay White a little more. I think he's definitely just a little more like I can't really pinpoint it, but I would
He has the
definitely say
look.
he has like more of a charisma. Yeah,
He has the look.
I think Finley would. So I think maybe quicker for Jay White, but I mean it's hard to say. I think Finley's got the pedigree that might help him out as well.
But he doesn't have the look.
I mean, you can do things. You can do things to they don't have gimmicks yet.
He's
so
Husky Harris. He's basically Husky Harris.
And where's Husky now? Bray Wyatt.
I know, but you have to cater to his aesthetic to make him look good. You can't just put him in trunks and throw him out there thinking he's gonna wow some people. It's just not gonna happen.
And then we had Liger, the Funky Weapon, Tiger Mask versus members of Chaos here, Yoshihashi, Gato, and
Sakuraba.
Yeah, Sakuraba. Sorry about that, guys. Not really much anything here. We had another tag match.
Yeah, Gato gets the calf crusher. As soon as I saw Gato in the fucking match, I was like, he's getting Chaos. Chaos is weak, man. You know that? Like they don't ever win really. It's only about Okada.
Well, yeah. And we had some other matches. One featuring the Los Ingobernables versus Juice Robinson, Kushida, and Elgin. Kushida, people fans of Ring of Honor would know who he is. Elgin, of course.
Oh, you're not gonna bring up the old timer match?
Fuck that match.
It was
definitely
it was the old timers match, right?
Yeah. But Juice Robinson, former C.J. Parker. But what I was gonna say is there's been several NXT releases as of late, and like we just mentioned with Wade Barrett and Titus O'Neil, this is like here's a guy who was jobbing out on NXT, like the lowest guy who was on TV every week was C.J. Parker. Now he was in this 6-man. He was also in a tag match against Okada, the IWGP champion, in a big arena.
I even got that in my fucking notes.
Yes.
CJ is a cornball.
Well, I mean, sure enough, but I'm just saying this was success other places, which is what we were kind of talking about.
He's not gonna last long.
It's still a success. He's definitely doing this is a way better career than he already had in WWE. And with all these,
if you think so,
yeah, he never lost to John Cena. He never even got in the same building as him.
All right, if you feel that way. My only thing about this match,
Michael Elgin is really, really popular in Japan. Like he's gotten a lot bigger pops than I would say anyone in the match he was in.
I like Bushi.
Yeah,
I think Bushi is that guy's talent. I think sky's the limit for him moving forward. His style, his look, his physique. He's somebody that I can definitely see in NXT. Maybe definitely moving into WWE territory. I mean, if I was one of the talent searchers and I saw Bushi, I'd be like, yo, we gotta somehow get this guy.
Yeah, he's great.
We gotta get this guy.
He wrestled a really good match the next show against Kushida.
Kushida, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good match too. If you guys want to check out either of these shows, you should definitely do that.
Naito is in my top 3 of favorite wrestling characters.
Ripping the shirt off.
Dude, he is dangerous, man.
It was hilarious.
He's that weird element that like anytime he's in the room, you know something's about to get towed up. Like it's weird.
Yeah, he rips the announcer's shirt at one point. He ties up and pulls on Juice Robinson's dreads.
Yeah.
So he's a great heel.
He's dangerous, and I love that about him. There's no other character like him in professional wrestling. I think the closest thing we got to that sort of element of like we don't even know what the fuck he's about to do would be it's what. Oh man, who would even give off that same air right now? I know. Asakura. Why am I fucking getting her name wrong?
Oska?
Oska. Yes, Oska's the only person that I can even come up with that. There's whenever she's in the room, something's not gonna run smoothly. Mm-hmm. And that element is, again, far and few in different. You take a guy like Dean Ambrose, they're trying to make him into sort of like that kind of thing, that loose cannon. Like that ain't no loose cannon. Naito is a fucking loose cannon. I love him. I love him. But
we had the never,
the Los. How do you say that shit? The Los.
I'm not really sure. It's Los.
The Ungovernables is
that's
what it means.
Yeah, that's what it means.
They win, and then they try to beat the shit out of Kushida because they're trying to. I guess they built up the feud between Bushi and him, but it was to no avail. The babyfaces were able to sort of get out of there. The Bullet bitches.
Yeah, the Bullet Club take the Never titles off of the Briscoes and Yano. I'm pretty upset about that.
You think so? Why?
Well, because I love the Briscoes and Yano. I think that's like I just said it already. That's like my favorite grouping of people ever. All characters in the ring. I've never seen a bad Briscoes match. I've never seen a non-entertaining Yano match. So I just love the trio. But it does make more sense on the Bullet Club. If you're going to keep them around, you got to put a little strength on them. And even that these titles don't really mean that much, they're still titles. And
the Bullet Club they're done. They need to be done with that gimmick. By the way,
Tonga came out on the show after and said that you beat Gallows and Carl, but they were on their way out. He's going to come with a new Bullet Club member. And go after the title. So, depending on who that guy is, it could strengthen.
They're done.
Yeah.
I feel like they need.
You already see the top Bullet Club guys like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks who are left. They're now the elite. So there's now like a more Bullet Club. So yeah, you're kind of right that there is this underput of guys. But
it's done. I mean, why do you want to keep putting Band-Aids on that brand? I mean, like the NWO. It just ain't the same. It ain't the same. Why are you going to try to, okay, let's create another faction? I mean, the Bullet Club has ran its course. How many years? Like 3 years? Good three years?
Maybe a little more.
4 years of strong, presence. It's time, when you're looking at the fucking pieces, when you see the holes in the bottom of the boat, at some point, you got to build another boat. You can't just keep taking the water out just to stay afloat. You're gonna fucking wear it ragged. You're gonna wear yourself out, and you're gonna eventually sink.
This is true.
And that's what the Bullet Club to me now is. And I say kudos to the career of the Bullet Club. I think everyone worked out, but it's for New Japan. I don't think it's gonna do any favors.
And then we get Matt Sydal and Ricochet.
Can I say this? I know. I'm sorry. What I don't like about the Toru Yano and the Briscoe, I understand the weirdness of booking these two groups that wouldn't necessarily mesh, but it's too drastic of a...
Well, it's also an introduction to the Briscoes in New Japan. They never were there before, so it's just, for me, really cool just to see them, there, show for show.
Get Yamna... Put Amna Yano together, Put them two together. That'd be fun.
Hanma is, the tag champions.
Shit, he's gonna face fucking Jay Lethal. You heard about that? Yes. He's facing Jay Lethal for the ROH belt.
That's amazing. That's a great match. Where's that? Is that the 14th anniversary?
I think so.
Holy fuck, that's an awesome...
You didn't hear about that?
No, that's awesome.
I think it's garbage. I like him.
We'll get to it. Sydal and Ricochet versus the Young Bucks and... Red Dragon. My favorite part of this match, it was a great match, but my favorite part was when Cody Hall just stole Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, that was weird.
And ran to the fucking back with him.
Yeah, that was really awkward.
You see a lot of interference, especially with the Bullet Club and everything, but to just grab a person and kidnap them out of an arena full of people is bold and hilarious. I think it's definitely very effective, too. If a tag team partner just all of a sudden got stolen, that leaves Bobby Fish out there dead in the water. Bobby
Fish in shallow water. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was too silly. I thought it was too booked. But great ending. I think Sydal and Ricochet are probably at this point in time the most exciting tag team outside of the Briscoes. Even more so than the Young Bucks because they're fresh and new. You don't know what to expect out of them. The athleticism between the both of them is unmatched, and then they're together, and it's fresh. And they're gonna keep reintroducing themselves. I think that's great. Give them the fucking juniors. It's time for Ricochet to really, really shine. I agree with this finish. I definitely agree. But I don't think the Young Bucks are going to be winning any titles anytime soon. Moving forward,
and the Young Bucks. If you weren't paying too close attention, I didn't pay attention at first, but they hid under the ring, and this will become important later. We got Sakuraba versus Ishii, my favorite match of the night. I love this match. I loved how Sakuraba just choked Ishii out, sitting there like Buddha.
You mean Shibata?
Shibata, sorry. Yes, I wrote... Sorry, guys. Yeah, Shibata versus Ishii. I loved how Shibata was choking out Ishii, laying him down. It looked like, just like this big pudgy Buddha for one last knee strike. I really thought, these never titles, these never, like the never title and these...
Never open.
Yeah, these strong style matches are really hard to explain.
Still the show.
Yeah, it's hard to explain why they're good because you can't really break down spot for spot, but like they just build in intensity and it's something you kind of have to feel in the air. And
you know why?
It's really amazing.
I could explain that shit easily.
Well, let's see it.
It's just it's who's the man. Ain't nothing like a one-on-one challenge to see, like a 2 battering rams. Like boom. There's no dodging. There's no this. There's no defense. It's like, okay, hit me with your best shot. Okay, now you hit me with your best shot. And that type of joust never gets old. It will never get old. And, in this match, they do things, but they replace the sit-down kick to the back to the dueling suplexes. I thought that was, and someone, I think it was even... It was Nathan last night, and he mentioned that he thought this match between Shibata and Ishii was better than Wrestle Kingdom. And I go, I don't think I got a chance to respond, but I go, very much like John Cena versus Kevin Owens 2 and 3. Like, I think each one of those matches...
Yeah, you definitely get better, more comfortable with the guys, generally.
They're in their own league in terms of what they represent in terms of a match. And I won't say that one was better than the other. I just love that they were still able to keep that match fresh.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know which one to pick. I would definitely have to watch them back to back. I never thought about, like... I don't know, but I definitely remember liking the Wrestle Kingdom show, and I want to say...
It stole the show!
Yeah, but then this one definitely was just like a bright light in this...
dark tunnel?
I would say not dark tunnel, but like as far as New Japan, this is a mediocre show, but there was definitely great matches, and this was one of them.
Shibata is your next big star. That guy, again, I was about to say, like, between Naito in my top... He's in my top 3. Shibata is in my top 5.
No,
that guy is a super... And the way he's one of the super young boys... He's a super young boy. I think that just in itself is another thing. And he dominated. He fucking was the lion that took out the fucking, the headline. He took it over. I love that storyline. Apparently that was supposed to have been the same storyline of Okada versus Tanahashi. But it doesn't give that same thing that Shibata's doing with Ishii. Because Ishii was hard to top.
Yeah, it was great. And then we... go on to this 6-man title. The Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Kenny Omega versus Hanma Makabe and Tanahashi. Yeah, this was a great match. But Bullet Clubs win because the Young Bucks come from out under the ring and kind of attack them, softening up Tanahashi for the next show, which was...
Frog Splash.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
That looked really
onto
bad.
the trash can.
Yeah.
And then, I want to say maybe the next night or the night after, you had Kenny Omega versus Tanahashi, and Omega won. There was a little bit of interference, but Michael Elgin came and stole both the Young Bucks running up the ramp to prevent them from interfering that time.
So that's like a new thing?
I guess that's a new thing, but I fucking love it. I think that's hilarious. It's just to see, like, Michael Elgin, ran with 2 people, so that's like the strength, and he ran up the ramp where... Cody Hall was a lot bigger. It's a different story dynamic.
I understand the silliness and the zaniness sometimes of the New Japan product, but what's different between them and, say, even ROH and the WWE is that they have an element of big fight feel. They really do. They present their product as almost as a UFC fight or as a MMA type of thing. And when you have these silly gimmicks of taking someone out by putting them on your shoulders and running out with them, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. I go, sorry, I'll pass on this kind of like tomfoolery. You could do that in PWG, and you're probably doing Evolve. You do all that shit. Hell, you can even pull some shit like that off in NXT because it is still a sports entertainment sort of package they're trying to give you.
Sure.
I'm not looking at the goddamn New Japan product for sports entertainment purposes. I want to see great matches. and I want just a down to earth product. That fucking Tarzan Jane shit is just not cool to me. Nah, that's what it is, though.
Yeah, it's true. Then we had I'm going to say a solid match. Goto versus Okada. Okada wins. I mean, I think everyone saw that from a mile away.
A mile?
This was just like a layup for the champ, just to be on the big show and everything. I don't see a problem with it. I thought it was a great match. I like Goto's looked real unique. He definitely looked like he was ready to fight the champion.
That's all he had.
Yeah, that's true. And Okada, yeah. And then Gato's cuts this promo where I don't speak Japanese, but you could just...
You don't?
No, I don't. Sorry, guys, but you could fucking feel this promo. Like, Gato is like the Paul Heyman to Okada. It's like this hype man just in the ring talking shit for you. I think it works real well. I don't even speak I don't know. I thought they were good. I thought it was awesome. Yeah.
Gato. So, you know what? If it wasn't for the fact that it didn't feel like such a mourning service for the departure of Nakamura and AJ Styles and the departure of Doc Gallows and the changing up of one of their best factions and Tanahashi losing again, like what the fuck? Is he like he's like the Sheamus of fucking New Japan right now? Like what the hell's going on with him?
I mean, I wouldn't say that about anybody, but I mean, it seems like you got to bring him down and bring him up sometimes, and he seems so over that, like helping out these new guys, which is what they have to do now that you mentioned Nakamura's gone, AJ's gone. You got to bring up somebody.
Where's Ibushi?
And with someone, he's injured. He's coming back.
They need him back badly.
Oh yeah.
This is a depleted roster. This right here was definitely a bunch of riffraff.
Well, there was also a lot of tag team action. If you really wanted to do singles matches and spread it out, you could. I think. I'm not as I'm hesitant to say what you're saying, Peter. I think they're set real well, but they definitely are hurting now that AJ and Nakamura are gone. Oh. And I mean, Carl Anderson and Gallows leaves a big hole in the tag title division.
You're left with Bad Luck Fale. Yes, that's who you're left with right now. But nevertheless, let's get into this Raw so we can get into our pay-per-view
predictions.
Hell yeah. Fastlane.
Yeah.
Brum, brum, brum.
Yeah. Raw from Anaheim. Yeah, Dean Ambrose comes out. I mean, they really are putting Dean Ambrose in these prominent positions. Opening Raw, closing Raw most of the time, not this week. Talking shit. Steph comes out, pretty much puts him in a match, a 5-way with what the fuck? Yeah, Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose, Stardust, Ziggler, and Tyler Breeze with selfie stick and music playing right at the beginning segment of Raw.
Stop right there.
This is a great match.
Where were you about this show altogether? Like, where were you? Like, what did you think of that show? This show? Seriously, what do you think of this show? Because it's a go-home show. All right?
Yeah.
Do you think it accomplished anything as a go-home show? And did you enjoy the show?
I most definitely enjoyed this show.
All of it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I enjoyed it. I don't know. Like, I know I can get why some people didn't like it, but I think if you look at how the ratings were...
Give a fuck about ratings.
No, I would say, well, that's how they position everything in the show. So, I think that they're changing up how they position things to peak on the 9 and the 10, and then maybe settle down in 8 and 11. So they definitely...
you mean 10 and 11?
9 and 10 peak. The beginning of the show and the end of the show kind of settle down. So it kind of goes like a circus tent, more or less. Looks like how I guess you would see it on a chart.
A Klansman hat.
Well, no, it would go down. It's not a Klansman. It's like a... maybe 2 Klansmen with strings tied on each end.
Oh, the bottom end of one side of a Klan's hat to another.
Well, no, because in the middle part it's like a little hump. Well, if you want to make the Klansman, I mean, there's tons of, let's say, party hats.
Party hats. Dunce caps.
There we go.
Flying nuns.
But, like, I would say, so, like, that's why, I mean, there's been a lot of flack of the main event. But, I mean, they got this great 5-way. They got an AJ Styles match in there. You got your wrestling. Why not have a little sports entertainment? I like wrestling over sports entertainment, but I think if they had I think you definitely have to have a balance to make a good Raw, and I think that's why they had the main event the way it is. And it was kind of like a passing of the torch. You know, Big Show's been there for a while. This is the new big guy. Like
I say this because
and there's lots of bells and whistles that made the match great.
I feel like the show itself, they made moves that you should have done 3-4 weeks ago. Right?
Well,
like
ultimately, ultimately,
everything
Fastlane
was left up in the fucking. Oh, you got a fucking pay-per-view Sunday.
Ultimately, Fastlane is just a big setup for Mania.
Of course it is, but it still is you're gonna set out 3 hours of your fucking Sunday, sit down and fucking eat some popcorn, and fucking figure out what the fuck how they're gonna move forward, right? So I'm not gonna rule it out like it's just some throwaway. It's not throwaway. I invest as much time in this as I will in fucking SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. So I'm just saying, it is a credible pay-per-view. And what you're doing, moving into this pay-per-view, at least some of it, at least give me something outside of, say, one. And even that one guaranteed what the fuck, you still don't know what the hell's going on. Because, say, going into this first match, Dean Ambrose leaves up off top of the fucking IC belt. He lets up off that motherfucker, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, and Kevin Owens wins it back. Okay, what? What are you doing? Like, please explain to me.
Well, I mean, this was a great match to kick off Raw. We can't undermine that, but I think it was one to give to show you the IC title picture, to kind of just throw it out there for you. These are the guys that we look at to be good, and also I think if Dean had the IC title, it would leave a little people are smart enough to know, oh, he's got the IC title. It's not going to matter too much for him to lose on Sunday. They want Sunday to matter. They want the main event to matter. They take the belt off him. I mean, I think I like it better on Kevin Owens to begin with, so I don't really mind that. Having Kevin Owens and the Ziggler feud kind of culminate with the title.
No, you could have done that. You could have done that way back. You could have just not have Dean Ambrose winning in the first place. How about that?
Yeah, that would be. I mean, yeah,
and
ideally,
if you're gonna put it on him,
fix your mess up. You know,
keep it on him. Keep it on him. Go into this fatal four-way, this triple threat, as the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah,
that's a storyline. And how about that storyline of him being on the Wall of Champions? How about that? Whatever happened to that?
I guess he got on there. Yeah, he didn't mention it.
He hasn't mentioned it since. And he looks good with the championship. And I go, oh my God, you remember that one promo?
Wait. He looks good with it. He might have his opportunity to come WrestleMania.
To what?
To look good with the championship. If he wins at Fastlane, Peter, don't forget, he will move on to the main event.
Goddamn Fastlane. It's Roman Reigns' spot right there, buddy.
This is true. Well, Dean was pissed in the back for losing too. I liked what they did there where Dean was pissed. They cut to the booth, and then they said, wait, Renee in the back. So they threw to Renee kind of like an on-site reporter. Kevin Owens cuts the promo, and Ziggler steps up, and that's when they kind of make the challenge at Fastlane. That's kind of how the IC title picture is. But what were you getting at, Peter?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
I'm good. I just go, I
like it.
I just don't care.
Well, for weeks we've been seeing Ziggler and Owens, and we were seeing
I don't care about Ziggler.
Well, I was gonna say we've been asking okay, what's the point of this? But now with the title, that culminates it. This is the point. Who's gonna win this? The IC title, and they've had some great matches.
I don't care. I mean that IC belt right now, I would say over the past 3 months have been rendered into sheer stupidity. It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame that it seemed that it had hope, and then it just what? Huh? And it's not supposed to mean anything. And Dolph Ziggler, what he's gonna do? Kevin Owens, Kevin Owens may step up for the thing. I don't care who has that belt. Honestly, I just who's gonna ascend? Who's just going over? That's all. Is it gonna be Ziggler? No. And what is the significance? He's not a vital foe to anybody, and Kevin Owens is about he's as babyface as a motherfucker, and I just go I don't shut up. It's sickening because I expect better. It's not like Ziggler. I hate Ziggler. I just go well shit. He had a head of steam and y'all fucking pulled it, and not only that. You fucking buried him. I mean, not buried him, but he just became a punching bag, a shit stain.
I mean, the IC title is a workers' title, and I feel like these two guys who are known for the work rate are going to have, a great match, and therefore it's a great feud for the IC title.
No, because it was booked. Ziggler was a fucking shit stain to Kevin Owens, and then all of a sudden he's getting these fucking faux ass victories. He got this damn legs on the rope. Get out of here with that, man.
We get a New Day promo where they say they're going to be on the Cutting Edge Peep Show at Fastlane, so a big segment on Fastlane.
They're not defending the belts.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, because they're kind of
what?
They're kind of bigger than a lot of the guys that would be going for it. I would say they're more over than the Usos, more over than the Dudleys.
They should be defending the belts. They got nothing for them.
Oh, well, what if there's a surprise, like a new team for the main roster to come out?
Oh, God, don't. You better not. You better not. You don't want them out there. Just like you didn't want the fucking divas, those divas out there to come out from NXT. You don't want them up there, okay? I'm just going to leave it at that. You don't. You don't want them. Kaz and Enzo should show up the day after WrestleMania.
Name drop.
I'm just saying, we all know what we're talking about. We all know what they're talking about.
Baddest dudes in the room.
How
you doing?
You better debut those son bitches after Raw. Like that, after the Raw, after WrestleMania. You do not bring them out for Fastlane. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of everyone's time.
Okay. Well, there we go.
You already got the Dudley fucking boys.
Yeah, and then we had I think a face Kaz and Enzo and a heel Dudley Boys would be a great feud for going after
Dudleys.
Mania. Well, then we also had a Big E versus Mark Henry, a good big man match. But kind of the story going into it was Mark Henry got lifted up and then kind of fell down.
Yeah,
and that was enough. Mark Henry let himself get pinned for the 1-2-3 right after that.
I almost thought that Mark Henry was going to get this win. I almost thought that he was going to get the win, but then it turned into a shoot because when he escaped the big ending, because he got out of it, it was a legitimate escape, but he landed on his feet, and then it was like a split second. He just kind of collapsed, and Big E just went, "Oh fuck."
Well, it was his rib that got injured, and if you saw how Big E was holding him, it was right where his rib would be. So it looks like maybe a guy that size just kind of clunk, but you.
And it looked like maybe the same rib he injured late last year.
If you have a history of something like that, it's just a shame that this would happen because I could see that being a little feud going further.
You don't need a feud really with Mark Henry. Right now, you just want to build him up, and you know what? Maybe this injury is for the best. Because now they could turn this into his great comeback. He already tweeted that it was okay and all that shit, but he's still hurt. The odds are stacked against him. Moving forward into his last stand, which is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Come out there taped up, man. Tape up the ribs, baby, and have him go out there and toss out fucking Braun Strowman. Like get him out, and that's his swan song, man. I couldn't. You could ask for a better situation right now. And I'm not saying that his injury is a shoot, a work. I'm just saying you could turn that work into a shoot and really have him go out on top in a very poetic justice manner.
That's true. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind, but yeah. It's hard to say what's going to happen on the Andre the Giant Battle Royal this year.
Mark Henry.
I would hope.
Number one with a bullet.
I would. Yeah, that would be cool.
I'll shave my head if he doesn't win.
There we go. Boom. Brie Bella comes out. We get the yes chants and everything. All right, promo. Charlotte comes out.
Yeah.
I want to say this segment was real awkward. It was just like, neither one are really that good on the mic. It's kind of ironic you had Rick in the background kind of like doing facials. It was the best part of the segment, which isn't saying very much.
Dude, Anaheim gave a fuck about what those girls were saying in the ring. It was probably the most disruptive Ric Flair segment since he's been with Charlotte. Just everywhere. Just woo, woo. It was a continuous woo fest. Dude, that entire promo. Now, the irony of this is that was some of Brie Bella's best work. And that was some of Charlotte's best work as well. And it was still awkward.
Yeah, that's not saying very much, especially with promos.
Yeah, and it was still awkward. I just go, wow, and then Ric Flair.
Charlotte kind of eggs Brie on. Brie hits her with some yes kicks. The crowd got into...
She said something about some vegan babies. I just fell flat.
Yeah, it was silly.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, we had a Wyatt's vignette. Then we had Miz versus AJ Styles.
Yes!
With Y2J on commentary. And Miz wasn't the only Hollywood celebrity there. Gerard Butler was in attendance. They showed right before this match.
Who's he?
He was in 300, and he did a bunch of romantic comedies.
He's doing the 500. He's doing Daytona 500.
What do you mean?
I think he's the Grand Marshal. What do you call those people that start your engines?
That's cool. You never seen 300?
What's that?
The movie 300. It's a pretty good movie.
Is he the guy that screams?
He's not only the guy that screams, he's the main leader of the Screamers.
Yeah, he's like 300. What does he say?
Oh, that
Spartacus! He's like that guy.
Yeah, that's him.
He looks like Damien Sandow.
He does a little bit. But this match was great. He definitely didn't take away from the match. Neither did Y2J on commentary.
Fuck that. Miz, awesome. AJ, awesome. That was awesome. It really was. I'm not going to fucking... Because I know how much you don't like The Miz, right?
You've actually put this on me several podcasts when I said one podcast about Cesaro carrying a match.
Miz.
Cesaro. He carries most of the matches he's in.
Miz ain't no slouch, man. And he went in there and held his own. And AJ Styles was able to really work on him. And they just fed off each other really well. I thought it was very refreshing. I thought it was really good. Even outside of the fact they've already faced each other at SmackDown. That resulted in like missing teeth, but I think he blocked. Oh yeah, by the way, he fucking matrix.
He ducked.
He matrixed out of that fucking like spinning back fist.
Yeah, that was a great little touch to the match.
It really was.
The skull crushing finale for 2 was a great spot.
I thought he was gonna win.
Anaheim thought he was gonna win too. It was a great spot, but then the calf crusher, AJ wins,
and then he finally lets out any and all emotion that he had since he's joined the roster, because he hasn't been allowed to speak since he's entered. He spoke maybe a couple of words here when he first debuted after the Royal Rumble to Renee Young. He was interrupted by Chris Jericho. They did the Miz TV thing. He wasn't allowed to speak. Jericho still keeps interrupting him. He's not allowed to speak. And here he's like, "Shut up! I've had enough."
Yeah, this is great. And I mean, this was great on the mic for AJ. Like, I mean, we've kind of been saying, like,
he sucks on the mic.
Yeah, but like he was doing all right. Like, I definitely think the Miz and him will play off each other in great feuds. I think Y2J and him will play off each other, and that's pretty much what they set up here.
What it was.
They said it. What was it?
The fact that the juices were running, and it happened before. Like I think this was Ziggler had a moment like this once where it was post match. They put a microphone in his face, and he just with the adrenaline still running, was able to cut an amazing promo.
And ultimately, like if you believe it, you're gonna say it. Not like you believe it, because you believe it. So there's emotion there that you cannot put forward, and in someone who ultimately wouldn't say these things. So for AJ to have this this little hint of realism to it, it made it really good, real emotional, and I think he held his own with a guy like Y2J, like Jericho, who's known for his skills on the mic. And they're going to do the match at Fastlane. I kind of tweeted out that that's a Mania match. I don't know what they're doing for Mania, but Jericho and AJ, that I thought that was going to be held out to Mania, but I'm stoked it's on Fastlane.
They're not going to have anything for AJ for WrestleMania. They're not.
You think he's in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
Maybe, or maybe the pre-show. Maybe they go AJ, Miz, which I was hoping was going to happen. What I was hoping for Fastlane is that Jericho and Miz both want a piece. I'm on record say that. They want a piece of AJ because they both suffered losses from them. They went the other route. They gave AJ the loss. Well, they gave Jericho the win on SmackDown. And then Miz loses to AJ Styles again. I was hoping for Fastlane. It would be Jericho versus Miz. Whoever wins gets a shot at AJ during the match. And I was hoping and thinking that whatever, it's fantasy booking. It's more like wishful booking, that Miz comes out, interferes, which moves forward towards WrestleMania. Not necessarily a match on the card. AJ, he's not going to be given a WrestleMania moment this early like this. Give him the pre-show. Make it a 3-way match. You look at Jericho, who's had his WrestleMania moments. You look at Miz, who actually won the main event, and now he's in good company, right? AJ Styles pre-show. You got to start from somewhere, not too shabby, not bad company, and then next year do something bigger, maybe with another person. I mean, if not, like, I'd say don't throw him into a program with Kevin Owens anytime after WrestleMania. Kind of save on it until, like, say Survivor Series. But I would like to see a Kevin Owens AJ Styles WrestleMania match.
Okay, well, there you go. I mean, there's tons of things that are going to happen. I'm excited to see it on Fastlane. We get the Dudley Boys to come out, cut this great promo.
You people! I love they say that.
I like they pulled the they went and checked on the table, they threw it back under, because if you didn't watch SmackDown, they retired the tables.
He reminds you that, by the way.
Yeah,
if you didn't watch SmackDown, I thought that was
like
funny.
Me and Peter, dude. I thought I heard that sentence, so maybe.
Wait a minute, you don't watch SmackDown.
No, I said like I was as if I was quoting, Bubba Ray, like saying like me, like adding that to it.
Okay.
But I have watched a few the AJ Styles matches that are on SmackDown. So I've been watching more SmackDown more than ever in the past like decade because of AJ Styles. So there you go.
Again, I could care less. I'm just open. I'm open book to whatever they got moving forward. But as of now, a heel Dudley Boys, great. Unless if it was just Bully Ray, then I would probably be a little more into this. But a heel, all of a sudden a heel, they still got shit stains from the Wyatts and the New Day on them. I mean, I'm just waiting to see what they do. There's a little inclination of what they probably will become later on in the show. But at this moment, I'm still not sold on a heel turn.
On a heel Dudley Boys?
I mean, for what? I mean, I'm just saying, give me something to sink my teeth into to expect.
I don't know. I thought these are great promos. The way they said they were not going to use the tables anymore and everything.
You people.
I mean, yeah, you seem to enjoy it too.
I just like the you people shit.
Well, it's a promo.
But like, I don't. What you got for me? Give me something. Don't just fucking.
Well, they might have like an Usos versus the Dudley Boys feud match. For the number one contender shot, they might do something where it's the other team that wants to use the tables on the Dudley Boys. I mean, there's tons of things you can do. Bubba Ray Dudley's great on the mic, and they're a nostalgia team. I think flipping them heel opens up a lot of things you can do, like have the Usos and this feud. And if you're going to bring on people, whether it be at Fastlane or at the Raw after Mania from NXT, you have a heel veteran team that they could work with right off the bat.
I hear you, but.
That's
Don't show. Hey man, don't talk about the labor pains. Show me the baby. And that's what. And right now,
two great in-ring promos from
right
SmackDown and Raw.
Nah, like moving forward. I mean, again, and if I was to jump ship, like it seemed like there was gonna a little bit of alignment with Paul Heyman. I was like, whoa, okay, I like this. But we'll get there.
And yeah, they're on the main event of SmackDown this week too. So I mean, that's more than what they were. Anytime in this comeback. Moving on, though, we get
Summer Rae beats Paige.
Yeah.
What? The return of Paige.
Cooking up summer in the winter. I don't know.
What the fuck? And it always looked like a shoot. It like a shoot pin.
I mean,
it looked like a shoot.
I think just like we've mentioned, like Ziggler being in the doghouse. I think Paige is in the doghouse. She's
for what?
I don't know. She seems to be a bit wild. Just running around crazy. Generally, she does have a bad mouth, and she does a lot of things with kids that I've seen the WWE get pissed at before. So it could be something as petty as that. But she's not been on TV. She's been losing. But I think maybe we might see a little feud right here, Paige versus Summer Rae. I don't know.
No,
you don't
I think
so?
This
She's gonna get her win back.
I think this is more about Paige than about Summer Rae. And if anything, it looks like an angle from Total Divas.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because he was like, I told you, but we don't know this backstory of how I told you, right?
Yeah,
we don't know that.
The show,
right? Because that's what all she was doing the entire time. I told you I told you. So maybe this is like something tied into Total Divas. This has way more to do with Paige. I don't think she's that much. You say she's been in a doghouse. No, she's been on top of the world. Like, she's the main topic on Total Divas. I think she's doing better as a Total Divas celebrity character.
Oh, no, she's doing great, but I'm saying she is a wild girl. She has been getting in trouble in the past. She's young,
I think they love it. I think they embrace it. I just think there's a whole new storyline. There's a whole new part of her career now that is going to reflect in her in-ring and how that bounces back and forth.
You think she's not that big of a deal in ring anymore?
I think she's embraced being a celebrity more than being an in-ring performer, or you would hear through the dirt sheets and shit. You would hear through Twitter her disliking of her positioning. Not a word. She's living it, and she's not having to exert a bunch of energy to do it. Yeah. That's one of the things I was talking about when we was talking about this whole this whole Divas Revolution. Like, a lot of these fucking divas, a lot of these women's wrestlers, they want to go to the WWE to work less. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? True, yeah. Like, they got the look. They're putting these avenues of like ambassadorship, and that's it. That's good. We've busted our ass long enough. Now I want to do a couple of gimmick matches and just sit on my ass and look pretty.
Well, I wasn't like I see a lot of people getting real upset about what the new page and everything. I don't mind it that much, and if she's going through a little losing streak to it's going to have a story to play out, I don't mind it. I think they're going to do a Summer Rae versus Paige rematch, and something's going to happen with that too. I don't think this is just a blip on the screen. I think this is going to become a little more, if nothing more than just a little mini feud, maybe for a week or two. But moving on, we did get a Paul Heyman promo where Reigns comes out. Then the Dudley Boys, after a little while, after Reigns definitely shows respect to Heyman, the Dudley Boys jump.
Dude.
Yeah, so it's kind of like when they were shaking hands, I was like, what are you thinking, Reigns? What are you thinking? You saw us from a mile away, but it was the Dudley Boys, from ECW, definitely have ties with Paul Heyman.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it makes sense to have it be like,
henchmen.
Loyalty to Heyman. Dean, of course, saves them, and that sets up the main event for SmackDown. It's going to be Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose versus the Dudley Boys, which is what I'm saying. The Dudley Boys weren't a main event team by any stretch as faces. Now that they're heels, look at them on the main event. They just got tied in with Paul Heyman.
We can't speak too soon yet on that.
The only heel team that's really in the that's a weekly thing in the tag division is the New Day, and they're definitely tweeners. People will definitely love them. You can definitely flip them and have this really hot, really heel Paul Heyman, backed Dudley Boys, especially with Paul Heyman and Woods on the mic. I love the Dudley Boys as heels. It definitely opens up the tag division.
We'll see what happens with that relationship. I think as Paul Heyman is definitely a part of the WWE roster, he's not anything without Brock Lesnar. If he's going to be, continue to work, why not team up with the Dudleys? But sure. I can't. All I got was that little thing. Like, we'll see moving forward where they're going to go with that little relationship. If they do, then you know what? Again, I'm good. But if that was they just came out and then there's no continued relationship between them and Paul Heyman, I told you so. I won't go, I told you so.
We'll see. I didn't read the SmackDown spoilers, but I hope that happens.
We'll see. But before we move forward, I just want to top, so Heyman gets out there, and plus even with AJ Styles, he got what chance? Stop that. Fucking Roman Reigns tries to talk, man. This guy, I'm thinking he was gonna try to right? Yeah. But he's, I'm cool.
This is the only Reigns segment.
The fucking crowd let him have it
of the show, by the way.
The crowd let him. Yeah, because they're focusing more on Dean Ambrose, but the crowd let him have it. They were just defiant during his entire thing, and for good fucking reason. Where's your backbone and your fucking... Get away from that coolness factor of you cutting promos, man. I think everyone wants to kind of see you buck up and be angry. You're a big heavyweight, man. Act like one. We're not checking you out because you're so cool. You're so groovy. Yeah, man. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Because Heyman, his whole beef was you got to pick between one or the other. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You got your daughter that's going to be proud of you and your family. You got your best friend that wants that belt just as bad as you do, right? So if you fucking think that both of those things are going to exist in one world, you got another thing coming. I'm letting you know. I'm the soothsayer letting you know. Beware the odds of March. You got to pick between one or the other, right? And Reigns was like, oh, man, but me and Ambrose are bros, and I'll be able to go home and impress my baby girl and all that shit. I'm so cool. And it's like, man, you had your opportunity to really he had an opportunity to really state his claim in the fact that he possibly could win the the thing without having to be all broed out and cool, but he dropped the ball. When the Dudleys came out and kicked his ass, Dean Ambrose came out for the save. And then after the save, you get an attempt at a dirty deeds. But you could tell he was...
Ah, yes, I forgot about that.
You could tell that it was sort of like he wasn't intentionally about to take out Reigns. It wasn't going to be some full
He was
turn.
showing him how quick he could have.
Yeah, he's showing him like, look, dude, remember, we are both gunning for the world championship. So don't you forget that. Roman Reigns looks at him like, huh, dude, you can't be serious, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Dean Ambrose like, yeah, I'm fucking serious as a heart attack.
Sure, yeah.
And he's like, I'll pound you, but just know, I will fuck you up. It felt real, and that's what I love about this Dean Ambrose that's happening now. Before, I'm really down on Dean Ambrose. Like,
really? A lot of people.
No, I'm on record. A
lot of people have been liking him lately.
Over the past couple of weeks, I'm like, shut up. You know, like, look at me. They put him in a situation where he's playing mind games. He's put in a situation where he can actually show his thing, but nothing's gonna come of this. We've seen this. Say it with me. We watched the show. Now, this reminds me of down in New Orleans when he stole the belt, and it looked like something was about to pop with him. Oh, look what happened. Roman Reigns got healthy again. John Cena came back. Oh, yeah, thanks for the consolation.
I understand what you're saying here, Peter. I get it. Yeah, that's true. But it looks like he's picking up steam more than... I mean, just like he did, I guess, just like we've seen he can do.
They're going to fucking drop his
Pull
ass.
the rug out from under him.
Oh, yeah, Becky Lynch him. He's gonna... Well, I don't know if you're going to get Becky Lynched or Dean Ambrose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, let's put you in a position, and you're living up to your expectations. But then as soon as your go-tos come back, you're out. Now, depending on where they position him after this match, if he wins or if he loses the Intercontinental belt. Oh, yeah, like, you remember that Stephanie fucking promo when she was talking about the Royal Rumble, the Monday after the Royal Rumble? It was like, oh, yeah, we stacked the cards. She was basically calling out us, calling out anyone on the, you know, the IWC or the podcasters about like, oh, you think you know everything because we put this. No, we know everything, right? That's the same with this. I feel like they're fucking with us. With Dean Ambrose. Oh, yeah, he lost the belt. Yeah, for sure. Now he's going to fucking fight for the heavyweight championship. Like, no! He's Dean Ambrose. They ain't got shit for him moving forward. Ever. Okay? Ever. The only thing that's a saving grace is as if they actually go with him versus Brock Lesnar in WrestleMania. That's it. That's the only thing. And possibly getting a win.
I don't know.
Brock could lose at WrestleMania. He good. He got a check. I'm not asking for this. I'm just saying. It seems like the storyline is more between...
It's definitely... I mean, there's tons of different things you can do with that three-way. I think it's very interesting to see how it's played out.
It's a clusterfuck, and it's more Dean Ambrose.
But there's so many things you could do with it being with the world title there. I don't know. I love to fantasy book it, but we have the Vincent J. McMahon Award to talk about.
Work! It should look like a goddamn QVC spot.
Yeah, it wasn't deserving to anyone until now. They said this. Who do you think it's going to?
I'm gonna say it right here, right now. When it came up, the first time it came up, my brain was serious, and it started turning, and I go, "Oh look, maybe this is gonna be like a gimmick for the kiss and making up of Titus O'Neil," and then I went, "Oh, maybe it's for Johnston, you know, or either Johnston or somebody on the production team, fucking Snaggletooth."
Okay.
Okay. What's his name?
I'm not sure who you're speaking of.
The guy in the ear of everyone. Right hand man of Vince McMahon. With the chief.
I don't know, but you thought it was going to be these people, and then you realized...
What the hell is the guy's name? Well, anyway, that it was a work. That it's a work.
Oh, yeah.
That basically it's going to be a gimmick. They're going to have that fucking thing come out. They're going to hand it to somebody, and it's going to be a story. There's going to be a storyline between who gets that and moving forward to WrestleMania, and how it's going to be shattered over someone's fucking head.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I think it's going to McMahon. I think McMahon loves McMahon like Kanye loves Kanye.
No way, dude.
I think he's just going to strut down there and accept his own fucking award.
But what though? I mean, what is that? What is that to move forward? What's moving forward for that? Kevin Dunn. I'm thinking Kevin Dunn.
Oh, I was just making a joke. I don't know who it's going to. I don't think it's going to be that serious. I think they're just hyping it up for 1 week. Shows you that they just came up with this idea.
They played it twice.
Yeah, they played it twice in 1 week.
It looks so cheesy.
Yeah, it's gonna be this little cheesy thing. I think it's going to McMahon. I think it's just gonna hype up McMahon or going to Hunter or doing something like that.
The speculations that I've heard is that possibly this is gonna be a device to move the Cena Undertaker story forward into WrestleMania, and that either John Cena's gonna get it or Undertaker. Well, they're saying John Cena's gonna win it, and then Undertaker's gonna fucking pursue him because of it.
Damn.
That's
I mean, yeah, that's definitely better than what I was thinking. Is Cena's healthy and ready? Or is that all speculation as well? Speculation within the speculation.
He tweeted the whole gamble thing.
What did he tweet?
It was a tweet about taking gambles. And the idea, it was kind of like coded. It was a coded.
Yeah.
It was a coded
and I've definitely
tweet.
seen him. He's been doing some posting workout videos online of him doing like a rep or two.
Yeah, his doctor said something about a gamble here. And
this
blah,
might
blah,
be like
blah.
a Royal Rumble 08 with him coming back before he's supposed to.
The guy is like, now if he had some like dare antler or some HGH in his fucking omelet or something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, everyday omelet. He's like he does.
But he still has healing powers, unlike anybody we've ever seen ever. He's like fucking Adrian Peterson of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
This guy tears his ACL, fucking bounce back, fucking 3 months ahead of schedule. And then he wins the rushing title.
Yeah.
He almost beats Eric Dickinson's record by like 9 yards, right? Unheard of. What makes this person? Why Cesaro doesn't heal? Why did this person heal faster? Blah blah blah. Because Cena, they all heal differently in their own different way. And if he comes back and he's talking about this gamble, then the guy, I feel like this possibly could be his swan song as well. I think he's found as much of a home doing like Good Morning America, doing these sort of gimmick spots on
but don't
comedy
you think,
movies.
Don't you think that all goes away if he's not John Cena the wrestler? Like he might have to do wrestling to do the other things.
I think he's hit a point. Well, I mean, the company's already made up their mind who they're moving forward with. Right
Sure.
now, Cena is no more than he's still the golden goose. He still is, but there's going to be a new goose in laying that egg very soon.
Yeah, sure.
That's why he's in it right now. Is the most enjoyable part of
Well,
John Cena.
This is the first I heard of this speculation. If that happens, I'm thinking that's stoked because they definitely need a big match for this Mania card. I mean, Triple H and Roman ain't doing it. Brock versus. I mean, that's 100,000. No way, no fucking way. That's a Survivor Series main event. If they could have Brock and Bray, I would love to see that match. But I think that's about 50 to 60,000. I would say right there. To bring in the rest of that 100,000, you need Cena versus Undertaker, especially in Texas. I would say that would be great if they were going to do that. But that's all speculation right now. I'm thinking it's going to Vince. That's what I'm saying. We get a more wide vignettes. We get Zack Ryder versus Heath Slater and the rest of the Social Outcast. I thought this was a really good match, but it's Heath Slater versus Zack Ryder. But if you watch it, it was really well booked how they used all the Outcasts, how he took out all the Outcasts, and right when you thought he was going to win, they took it out from under him.
Ain't this the third hour? This third hour with the shit. Yeah. And I think that was the beginning of the third hour. Zack Ryder, Heath Slater, the truth on a date, R-Truth, Gold Dust, fuck, whatever. Second horrible fucking bit between the two.
No, that was a good one. I like that one.
That was
funny.
Horrible.
It was hilarious. They did some inside wrestling promos, and they did some like raunchy ass lowball jokes. But I liked it. I thought it was
last week's segment was dumb. This week's
this one was way better than last week. This one was way better than last week. I'll put this one with the toilet bowl segment.
No.
And then we get a great I thought a great match with the Lucha Dragons and Neville versus Sheamus, Rusev, Del Rio with Baird on the outside.
It ended horribly. It was decent.
Yeah, I mean, Sheamus was a champion a few months ago, and if you look at this, how it's all played out and everything, I would never have thought that.
How about this?
But that big spot they did, where the 2 moonsaults and then the suicide dive in the middle with Kalisto and Neville on either side and Sin Cara diving through the ropes. That was perfectly timed spot.
It got all forgotten. It all that coolness went down.
I don't know.
And then it ended with Sin Cara looking like a fucking joke while Del Rio takes his sweet fucking time to do his border stomp, right?
I mean, that's a thing in lucha that happens all the time that a lot of people have to complain about. Yeah, well, why would Sin Cara be on the ropes at all or for that amount of time? Wouldn't he sway to either side? Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, like stop that. Like, but he's known for this. Like that Tree of Woe. He's letting these guys fucking air out on that fucking thing, right? He's letting those guys air out. Like, what are you all of a sudden like Kylo Ren or some shit? You done got the dark force that like they cannot for some reason.
Well, at least in the corner, you can say that your legs are tied up. But sitting out there in the middle of the ring, I mean that is a lucha spot that's been done a bunch.
That's not a second time that's been. That's not the first time that's been done too. He did it not too long ago where someone had. I think it was Kalisto had to sit there like a fucking idiot, holding on to the ropes, while Del Rio fucking eats some brie and he sips champagne and he's chomping on grapes.
Yeah, couldn't you just as easily had
speed it up?
You could have definitely had a League of Nations member just holding Sin Cara, and then that's the spot. You just that explains it all right there.
One of the main reasons why Seth Rollins had to lose the curb stomp, and this is speculation, but I think it's true, is that when Vince McMahon saw Brock Lesnar having to sit there and wait for it, he said he looks like a goddamn idiot, right? That was one of the reasons why they got rid of the he's like, look at this. He's sitting there like a goddamn idiot. And so it's like, no, we gotta move on to something else because you can't have these guys hanging out there high and dry.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to be Brock Lesnar. There's nothing to be fucking Sin Cara, right?
This is most definitely true.
He can give a fuck about Sin Cara laying high and dry. Black History Month. I'm black. I'm gonna talk about this.
Hell yeah.
They do a great tribute, Black History Month, to one of the greatest wrestlers, one of my favorites of all time, Booker T. I thought it was a really, really good tribute. Again, I've said it once. I've said it a million times. WWE is probably one of the best companies addressing Black History Month this month. Maybe BET's doing something. Hell, it's BET. But like outside of any other company that has syndication, several million people watching, they're, if not the only company that gives a great tribute or shows love to Black History Month. And that's all I say about that, because I feel like the next fucking thing I want to talk about, and I already talked about this on Peter's Raw Recap, is that bitch-ass Michelle Beadle. All right? And I'm going to make this quick, and I'll get 1 minute. Can I have 1 minute? Time me right here. Right here.
Okay.
How dare you, you stupid fucking cunt. You fucking air out the WWE and the world of professional wrestling because of something that dealt nothing with it. Your little fucking press like credentials and Mayweather that ended up being all a hoax. You had your fucking credentials. You heard wrong, bitch. And then you're gonna air out everything on the WWE and how you're gonna fucking abandon. We were talking about this shit. That shit was big news. Mm-hmm. Her fucking shitting on wrestling, shitting on the WWE because of WWE's engagement and friendship with Floyd Mayweather. There was this little fight that went down, right? Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao, right? Little match. It was just, kind of throwaway match that happened not too long ago. Biggest pay-per-view fucking box in pay-per-view history. And word got down that because...
1 minute.
I know, right? Because of his fucking domestic violence history and Rachel Nichols and Michelle Beadle calling him out, that word got back that they don't get their press credentials. They weren't allowed to get in. And it was false. They had him sitting right out front. He actually went on TV and said, hey, their credentials out front. I don't know what this bullshit talking about. Meanwhile, she's complaining about WWE's involvement with fucking with Mayweather and throw on the whole like you support fucking.
That happened a while ago too, guys.
Domestic abuse, but still, it was big news in the wrestling world. Now all of a sudden, WrestleMania is coming back around. You got Jonathan Coachman having all this fun with all the wrestlers coming and interviewing on ESPN. She's still left out. She's still left out. She wants that fucking front row fucking seat at WrestleMania. She wants the accolades. She wants to be part of this whole elite fucking group of people that like wrestling. They're little insiders in that whole little Hollywood and sports and entertainment world. But she had already shit on fucking wrestling. Why the fuck she want to come back? It's obvious. Vanity. And how dare the WWE allow this bitch to shit all over him in a way that's unforgivable. Fucking put fucking domestic abuse on top of them. And the fact that they're working with someone. And the reason why she's not going to watch them any longer. I check out. Twitter. Fuck you, Michelle Beadle. We all know what this is. And if I was Triple H, and I said this on fucking the recap. If I was Triple H, if I was Vince McMahon, I'd be like, bitch, fuck you. Have fun at the ROH fucking Vegas extravaganza. All right? Because there's no way in hell. Well,
that's sold out, so she might not be able to get a ticket.
I know, and there's no way in hell you better get a box seat. You better get in the fucking nosebleeds because if you're thinking, by a shot of a doubt, that you're in our good graces, after shitting on us over something we had absolutely nothing to do with, then you got another fucking thing coming, bitch. Fuck you. You're still not a wrestling fan in my eyes.
Well, there you go.
Bitch. Fuck you. Oh, yeah, she wants to sit in the front row at WrestleMania. I'm Michelle Beadle. I deserve special fucking interest. Special treatment. Feminism. Oh, special treatment. Look at me. I'm sorry. I said all these horrible things about you and your wrestling and saying that you guys support domestic abuse and women beaters. Fuck you. And that's it. That's all. That's my Hill promo.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got Becky Lynch in the back. with Tamina and Tamina and Naomi gave in her grief. The super kicker.
Oh God.
Yeah, which leads to a match with Naomi with Tamina versus Becky Lynch. I was looking forward to this match. I mean, Naomi with the kicks and everything, but she eventually taps out to the disarmor. But then Tamina and Naomi jump her. That leads to Sasha coming out, evening the odds.
No! She took her sweet fucking time!
But, I mean, she came out and evened the odds eventually.
No, like, dude, they already chewed up Becky Lynch and spit her out by the time. Like, literally. She fucking... Because normally, what's a save? A save is like, holy shit, boom, boom, boom.
Well, she didn't
Slide into the ring.
She didn't have to get there. She already had a dream that she made it.
She walked out. She had heels on, for one. She walks out. Then they're still beating the living shit. They even do a Samoan drop on her ass. She walks around the ring. Now she doesn't go to the front. She walks to the side of the ring. She walks in front of the announcers and then enters the ring after they done fucking spat her out. And then it's like they stood in the ring like, yeah, come get some. It's like, bitch, you crazy? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
You just sat and watched Becky Lynch. And this would have been the save too. Get her fucking ass handed to her as you just sat and visually watched.
Well, the story is that they're not friends, that they just have a common enemy, and that they're just teaming together, working bell to bell. So I guess that's the coldness of Sasha. She doesn't care if you're hurt. She's just trying to make sure you're not dead for the pay-per-view match on Sunday.
Just past week,
Becky came in.
No. Well, Becky was on commentary, and Tamina beats the living shit out of her. And fucking Sasha Banks ran out there and fucking gave Tamina some of the coolest big boots I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah?
She big booted her into the chair and then big booted her ass in the chair. Like, it was beautiful. And so it's like, well, clean it up. Because I didn't get the impression when you came out and risked. Because Becky Lynch actually went out and saved Sasha Banks from an ass whooping and lost when she got back into the ring. Yeah. Sasha Banks did the same thing, went back and got the win.
I think that's the thing is they're like Becky's a little naive when it comes to friendships, like we've seen with Charlotte and everything. I think that's what this kind of story they're trying to play there.
I think they don't know what to do. I think it's wishy-washy. It doesn't come out as she's been ingenuine. I think it's just wishy-washy booking of that storyline. Sasha Banks should have never, ever ran out and gave those big boots to Tamina to defend Becky Lynch. To say that she's going to take her sweet time, walk around the ring, and enter into the other side while Becky Lynch is getting her ass handed to her by both Tamina and Naomi. I just go, this is making no sense. I think she's Becky Lynch, not Becky Lynch. Sasha Banks is basically Hillary Clinton. She's one way and then she's another way. You never know what you're gonna get out of fucking her, because one day she's gonna be in a group of people and she's gonna be like, yes, this, and then she's gonna get a group to another group of people and she's gonna be like, oh, that shit I was saying over there. What? I didn't say that. What y'all want to hear? What do y'all want to hear?
Yeah. This might be true.
Then this crap.
Yeah, we go into the main event of the show. The Wyatts come out with Harper talks, Eric Rowan talks.
It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, Bray talks, and then Braun even talks.
It's 11 o'clock, man.
And then the Big Show comes out. I don't know. They did the big stare down and everything.
It's 11 o'clock and they're cutting a 5-10 minute promo, man. Are you kidding me?
Big Show hits a suplex in this match, which is insane to see. I thought this was a really good match. It wasn't. For the purposes of what it is.
Are you insane?
Two big men. It was a passing of the torch. This is a big man versus big man. There's lots of bells and whistles. There's a Wyatt family promo.
It is a DQ. After like 3 minutes.
Bells and whistles. Just like we talked about. This had and then we had Ryback run into help for the save. Scoops up Harper and runs with him, drops him, picks him back up, clotheslines him. We were talking about a bad run-in.
This has nothing to do.
This is a great run-in.
Nothing to do with Fastlane.
And then for all you 1997 in your house marks, Kane comes popping up out of the ring. He just did this with Rollins, but I love a good ring pop.
This was all bullshit. I can't believe that you're raving about this. They got nothing for the Wyatts. They have absolutely nothing for the Wyatts. They did a big build at fucking the Royal Rumble with whatever the fuck they got dealing with Brock Lesnar, right? They don't even show up since then in terms of Brock being in the fucking shows and stuff. They better show up tomorrow. He's on SmackDown, But nevertheless, you get Ryback, who just got treated like a complete joke, and then you got Big Show, who's a face for some fucking reason, coming out. It's fucking 11:10. I'm not waiting till 11:10 to see a goddamn Big Show match. I've already checked out. It's Raw. I'm tired. I gotta do a fucking recap. I'm tired.
But that's the way the ratings have been going. Is they drop in the 11th hour or the last hour.
You got Kane coming up out the fucking floor. Like, this is dumb. This ain't nothing. That has nothing to do with Fastlane. Nothing at all to do with Fastlane. And it just goes to show. It just goes to fucking show. It goes to fucking show that at that moment in time, it had nothing. I find out later that they booked. I saw that they booked something, but like this was the moment. It was like, all right, let's throw some shit on the fucking wall and see if it sticks.
No, the Wyatts attacked Big Show on Raw. Big Show gets to wrestle Braun on Raw. Two big men like that is going to be a big match, and then you have it build to a 6-man match at Fastlane.
I disagree with it. I totally disagree with it. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste. That moment and what they're going to do in Fastlane is a waste of everybody's time.
No, you're heating up the Wyatts for Brock. You made them have a strong showing at Royal Rumble. You're going to give them a strong showing at Fastlane. You have to heat them back up because they got their ass kicked for Undertaker and Kane a few months ago. You heat them up.
You're sure that's what's going to happen?
Oh, you're doing Brock and Bray. And you're going to have big, giant men getting suplexed by Brock Lesnar is money. They bring that out. They show that. It heats up Brock, and that's what you got to do. You got to have Dallas become Suplex City at Mania, and I think suplexing these guys is going to do that. That's what people want to see with Brock.
You say so there, Captain.
And we have already seen like the mind games and everything. That kind of feud already work with Brock, with Undertaker and Brock feud.
If you say so.
I don't know. I think so, guys. I think so. I think I'm really excited about this Brock and Bray feud. I hope it happens, and you got to heat him up somehow.
People, I apologize. He tripping. He had some fucking mushrooms before he got the fuck over here. He got something. Did you high? Are you high, Craig? Hey, Craig. You high?
Oh, I mean, just.
I know, Kobe. I know you're still probably. I'm surprised that's not one of your worst or best.
Kobe.
Yeah, the last All-Star game. Maybe you're still reeling from that or something.
That was a bummer.
You're licking your wounds and you're trying to find ways to cope. So like this fucking your perception of this whole Braun Big Show at like 11:15.
I mean, the time of it just makes sense. What you're gonna put when you want to have Roman and you have Roman and Heyman at the time when most people are watching, which is the 10 o'clock hour. You also have Jericho, AJ, Miz at the other time. Like, you had great matches on this show. If this show was littered with sports entertainment, I would hate this ending. But this had the 5 tag.
This was sports entertainment to its maximum.
That's what I'm saying. If it had that littered throughout the show, this would be bad. But no, they had great wrestling on the show. They had the 5-man match.
They didn't have great wrestling.
They had the 6-man match. They had Miz versus AJ. That was all on this show. And then you had this, a spectacle at the end. You had Kane popping out the ring, setting up a 6-man tag. I mean, that's how you end a Raw. You can't have Kane popping up in the middle of Raw. The ring would be hurt. There'd be a hole in the ring. You can't have another match. This was it right here, guys. This was awesome.
You are tripping.
And
man.
you have to understand, like, not that many
Keita,
people
you
watch.
hear this shit, Keita? You hear this shit, Nathan? You hear this, Jay? You hear that? Hey, do y'all hear Arthur? Terrence, y'all hear this? That's your boy. This is y'all boy right here saying this shit about this final segment. That's y'all boy.
It was, if this was just a bunch of sports entertainment.
Opening soon, Peter and whoever talks wrestling next week.
You had the Zack Ryder, Heath Slater match, which was a great wrestling match. So you had good wrestling matches on this show. So this was your sports entertainment match. This was 2 big men, going at it. I mean, passing of a torch kind of a thing.
Juggernaut. This is your boy right here.
I'm just saying.
Music Destination. That's your boy right here.
And it built to a 6-man match we're going to see at Fastlane going into the predictions. We're going to see a Ryback, Show, and Kane versus the Wyatts. I think this is, like I already said, I think the Wyatts are going to look strong here. What do you think, Peter?
Oh, shit, what? I'm still bugging. So what we got here, buddy?
Oh,
what's the pre-show? The pre-show is going to be the U.S. match, right?
Well, I figured this would be a good segue, and since I already asked you, we could just go with the question.
But redo it. I'm sorry.
Ryback, Show, and Kane versus the Wyatts.
Oh, who wins? I know who loses. The fans. We lose. We totally lose. We go down in flames for this one.
You got to heat them up. For Brock.
I'm putting. Yeah, we're losing. I guess I'm the Wyatts.
Okay, word.
And then we're all getting Sister Abigail's. We're all gonna lose in this match.
And then the pre-show match, it got bumped because the 6-man match is the U.S. title match. Kalisto and Del Rio already announced as the pre-show. If you're already going to do that big segment with the New Day and Christian and Edge, why not have that be a big pre-show? That's kind of a pre-show feel. A lot of people talking in the ring. That's what I would go with. But with that said, I think Kalisto's retaining.
No, he's dropping that belt like a fucking like Brian. Flying Brian Pillman's crap, his long crap. He's dropping that belt like the longest crap that... You heard that story with JR? He talks about where Brian Pillman wakes him up and leads him to the bathroom because he's taking a continuous shit that's so long. And he's so proud of it that he's telling people to go watch that shit, to look at it before he flushes. That's how fucking Kalisto's dropping this belt. And because, they got to move forward with the... with these heels called the Dudleys, apparently, and you also have your.
Well, why would Kalisto
drop the belt? Because you don't need a U.S. champion and a tag team.
Well, why would that? You're not having them wrestle the Dudleys necessarily.
Well, after he drops that U.S. belt, the Dudleys as heels, like you said, have to beat up on somebody.
Yeah, you got the Usos there.
You got the Usos. You got the Lucha Dragons, too. I would almost see them beating the shit out of Lucha Dragons en route to.
So you're going Del Rio?
I'm going Del Rio.
I just don't think they would do a title change. If they were going to do a title change, they'd put it on the main show.
And they got shit for Del Rio at WrestleMania.
Well, that's another reason why.
That's why he's going to get that belt.
Kalisto.
You have a better shot getting the Lucha Dragons as a tag team and some crazy zany tag team like Fatal 4-Way before you get Del Rio's in a singles match. Either with or without that U.S. belt. So might as well give him the belt as a fucking consolation. You give him all this goddamn money to get him back, and then you're going to treat him like this. Like, bullshit.
And we got Owens and Ziggler as well.
Oh, boy. I see Ziggler winning.
Yeah,
Because Ziggler's gonna get a belt, and they gotta have nothing for him at WrestleMania.
I don't know. I'm going Owens with this one. I mean, they just gave it to him on Raw. I
know, but they're advancing the story to Ziggler. But again, I'm thinking WrestleMania, and the only belt that fucking matters is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. There's no legacy of the Intercontinental belt being defended on WrestleMania as of late. Say over the past couple of years. Same with the U.S. belt. Damn.
Well, the IC title last year was in that ladder match,
Yeah, but that was a ladder match, right? It wasn't a title defense. It was a title. It was an open challenge to a certain degree. I don't really consider that a match. So I'm just saying, you're gonna get the belts on to people you don't want or have anything planned for moving towards WrestleMania, and it's sad, but it's true. So I see they have nothing with Del Rio, and they got nothing for Ziggler. So give him this fucking belt for consolation, and move forward with a beltless Kevin Owens going into a feud with somebody. He's gonna get somebody, maybe low tier, maybe mid tier, something. But he's gonna get somebody for WrestleMania.
You might be right. I'm going with
Owens. I'm never right, motherfucker. My record, nice.
Look at. I don't know. I don't know about that, but we do have two ladies matches on the show. We have the first of two, Becky and Sasha versus Naomi and Tamina. I'm saying Naomi and Tamina are going to win because Becky and Sasha can't get along. I mean, Naomi and Tamina are already a solid team. What do you think, Peter?
The black girls lose.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, Sasha Banks, she high yellow. and so all right, so she high. She's the lighter of the two that made it out of the group. So Tamina. Someone posted on the Solid Monsters the Usos want to be black, because and then someone's like, nah, Samoa's a niggas too, which is a horrible fucking statement. But I laughed my ass off when I heard it. So Tamina is black. Is blacker than I hate making this conversation, but it shits and giggles, right? Tamina is quote unquote in this fucking what do you call those shits? The color scheme. It's Naomi, then Tamina, and then Sasha Banks, and she's down by the yellows, right? So the black girls are going to lose to Yellow and Banks. Which, sorry, Lich. You know what's funny, too? Because, what's happening right now with the WWE and its divas is that, they're identified by the color of their hair.
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, Naomi now joined the party with a little blue tips.
You see Becky Lynch with blonde.
Oh, she went to blonde? She doesn't have orange anymore?
She posted some shit on Instagram today.
Oh, wow. And then you had... You have Sasha Banks with pink, so
Ava Marie with just stark red.
Red, yeah.
You got.
Is there more? I'm trying to think. Oska, I guess, has colored hair.
Pink.
Yeah, and then you have going down into NXT more. You have Alexa Bliss had blue, now has red tips.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So yeah.
I guess they're trying to stand out.
They're fucking Pokemons. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think we should identify with any of their wrestlers by the color of anything they wear other than their trunks.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, you got masks, why not?
No, stop!
What? I'm just saying,
no, you're not saying.
It's already happening. It's already happening.
No, I don't dig it.
It's already happened. And then for the second one, we got Charlotte versus Brie. I'm saying Charlotte, with all these rumors coming around of Brie retiring and everything, I mean, why put it on her? Just let Charlotte have it and let this be her last, hurrah to the crowd having a big title match.
It's too close. So you saying, do you start another titles program after Brie, going into WrestleMania? Yeah, you say a title defense.
Yeah, based on the Naomi, Tamina, Becky, Sasha match, you have some dissension with those two ladies, and then you have a number one contendership that can't be decided, and then you have the three-way Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha at Mania.
That sounds sexy
for the belt.
The three-way. That sounds hot. I'll pay to see that.
So you're going to Charlotte too?
You know what? It's too close to WrestleMania. I think they're going to stick with Brie because she really is.
Stick with Brie. Brie doesn't have the belt.
I know they're going to stick with Brie and Charlotte going into WrestleMania.
So who do you think is going to win the match?
I see Bree winning. No, I see Bree. I see a no contest. And then Bree's gonna win that belt at WrestleMania, and that's gonna be her swan song. From Daniel Bryan winning the championship to Bree winning the championship at WrestleMania, they're gonna have those dual fucking storylines going head to head, and that's gonna be a great storyline.
Yeah, and then you got Bryan out there. You got Ric Flair out
yes.
there. Yeah, I can totally see that.
Yes, so I see a no contest. If there's ever a no contest in this fucking, because there's got to be some screwy finish, some no
you're
contest.
Going with the Bree, yeah.
I'm going with the Divas.
Okay, there you go. And then we got I would say the two. I'm gonna say main events here. We got AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. I'm saying I see this feud maybe going into Mania somehow. Mm-hmm. And in order to do that, you'd definitely know that the stars are going over at Mania. So I think that AJ Styles is going to win this one to then make a Mania match, and then Y2J will win a Mania. So
this is a rubber match.
I'm going AJ.
I'm actually as crazy as it sounds, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat. I see Jericho going over.
Jericho?
And they have nothing for the both of them going into WrestleMania. They have nothing.
Okay. And then after that, we got the three-way, the main event, the number one contendership to see who wrestles Triple H at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. Who you got, Peter? I
got Roman Reigns for 300, Alex.
Hell yeah. I'm going Roman too. I think that's the safe bet. I play with the idea.
Safe bet my ass. Ain't no safe bet.
Surefire?
That's a surefire bet.
You're right, but I mean, as much as I like to play with the idea of it being Dean or Brock or anything like that, I think you've already done Brock and Hunter. You've already done Reigns and Hunter, which was what would happen if Dean won. So you've already done everything. You got to have Roman win. Just stay on course with this storyline. They seem bound and determined to do it. I think they're cooling down Reigns and letting Dean step into the spotlight just so people don't get tired of him. And then once this happens, it's going to just unveil it. And yeah, Dean is just caught in the crossfire.
I don't think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be a really, really good match.
Oh, Brock's in there. Dean can get thrown around. Roman can get thrown around.
But again, Dean is no Seth Rollins. And Reigns is no John Cena, to say the least.
Oh, yeah.
I still...
the Royal Rumble 15,
that still is one of the best three ways.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
Business.
That's a great one.
But this is not going to be rocket science. I don't think it's going to be that zany. And maybe it'll get overbooked. Maybe get some involvement here, involvement there. As long as we keep in consideration, we all have to keep this intact. Wrestling fans, don't forget, you got to suspend your belief. This is a no disqualification match. Okay? So remember that going into this, right? Triple threats, no disqualification. So when the zaniness go down, you have to realize there's no DQ. Don't be surprised if something does happen. That's all I'm saying. That's all I have to say about that. But it's going to be a clear-cut, surefire bet that all this dissension and all this weirdness that's happening with Dean Ambrose and say whatever, it's in the stars that Roman Reigns is winning, okay? It's just one of those things it's a cruel reality. It's a cruel reality. And as much as we'd like to see Brock and Triple H for the belt, or even, I guess the smart mark in us that want to see Dean Ambrose probably face Triple H, it's just not in the stars. It's just not in the stars. Go ask Stardust about that, He'll give you the cosmic makeup of where the stars lie in booking Roman Reigns moving forward.
Hell yeah. Well, we're just wrapping into 2 hours. I think we can, watch, tell us why we're wrong, tell us why we're right on Twitter. If you
Tell him why he's wrong.
Tell him who Drew Gulak is.
Fuck you. Gulak could suck it.
There you go.
I got one question. What is your favorite Titron? What is your favorite theme song? The one that you just say you're in the shower, it just hits you, and you're like, yeah.
I definitely like the DX theme.
Really?
Oh yeah,
it's like the intro.
I'm definitely going 90s, just like the rock song. I like the Vince McMahon No Chance song.
No, I'm talking about the one song you hear it. You heard it in your brain. You're like, oh yeah.
These are the ones I
DX?
named. Yeah, DX, Vince McMahon's, the No Chance in Hell. I would say Stone Cold's, obviously, with the glass shattering.
That's a lot. What is the one?
Shawn Michaels is a good one. The old Shawn Michaels. I'm just.
What's the one?
Yeah.
The one that's the earworm, my earworm,
What's that?
It's fucking Booker T, Harlem Heat.
Oh.
That is, I think, one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Go. I'm like in the shower. This shit is coming in my head. I'm like,
I would definitely say.
that is like, and it's like, it was like beta. You know, it's like one of the only WCW outside of say, what they did with the NWO and what they did with
Maybe Goldberg.
No, not Goldberg too much. I would say DDP and giving him that cheesy fucking ripoff of Smells Like Teen Spirit. But it's something about that Harlem Heat theme that just transcends. It doesn't sound dated.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
And it's just ice. I wonder who made that when they made that shit. Did they know they were like sitting on something that was like so dope? Another one, Kofi Kingston's theme too is a really good fucking theme. Every once I'll be like, and it just be like, how that shit go? It's been so long since I've heard it.
I don't know. I like Mark Henry's theme song with
yeah,
3-6 Mafia.
You would.
3-6 Mafia, great group.
Speaking about someone about to get their ass whooped, go ahead and give your plugs before I'll beat your ass up in here.
At JG Pro Wrestling on Twitter, SoundCloud.com/JG Pro Wrestling. Talk about NXT every Thursday morning. Fast in the World podcast. I'm on this podcast. Comes up every Wednesday night, of course. There you fucking go.
JG, well, yeah, outside interference, huh?
Yeah, that's on AM 1010 every Thursday night. Check it out.
You gonna check out the Duke Carolina game tonight?
No, I'm gonna be watching NXT.
Oh, well, the game starts at 9.
So
but you could be recording, so you'll catch the second half. Are you even into college basketball?
Somewhat. Haven't been. I don't have TV, so it's really I have to like seek out the sports I watch. So that's why football is so good because it's virtually Sundays. I can ask off Sundays. I can watch it. I try to follow NBA a little bit, but college basketball is like it's kind of just falling off to the wayside. I'm definitely interested in it, especially Duke and Carolina.
I just hope I could get this up, and we recorded earlier. I hope I could get this up before even this video up before. But anyway, PJTW Central to Twitter, also Ellen Japanese, LINJAPANESC, right? PJTW Central content. You get Peter's Raw recap, New Day podcast. Go check out the one from yesterday. Actually, you will enjoy it if you care to listen.
Yeah.
I slacked on Peter Talks Sports. It'll be back next week, hopefully. PJTW, Peter Jake Talks Wrestling. Again, this is episode 79. And then you also have Peter Talks SmackDown. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, hit that subscription button, motherfucker. Add us to your playlist. Add us to your favorites. Come on, man. Put us up there with, all your favorite fucking YouTube wrestling joints. And then if you're listening on iTunes, if you're listening on Stitcher Radio, if you're listening on Podbean, if you're listening on SoundCloud, and hell, if you even have a Tumblr account.
Oh, yeah.
Add us to your favorites there as well. Come on, man. Another thing you can do, they got this thing that points up like a thumb. Hit that motherfucker. And if you don't like it either, I don't care.
You can heart it, right?
Yeah, you can also press that you don't like it. At least you expressed yourself somehow, and we just want to know how you feel.
That's true, yeah. Take your time.
Like it. And if you do, we will like you. You can also leave a comment. Tell us how he's an idiot. And then...
Tell him who Drew Gulak is.
Gulak. And then you can do the most important thing, and that is share. Share. Not like the singer Cher. I got you, babe. None of that crap. Not share. If I could turn back time. Hell, if I could turn back time, I would have another co-host. But I can't. So share, meaning put this on your social media networks, your Twitters, that sounded perverted. Put it on your Twitters. Put it on your Instagrams. Put it on your Tumblrs. Put it on your Facebooks. Even put it on your Snapchat. Right? If you share us, it helps us gain more listeners, especially if you really like it. Shout out to all of those that do share and comment and like and all those things.
Hell yeah.
Any
dude.
last words? I was only kidding about the turn back. You're a great co-host.
Oh, well, there you go. I
was only
appreciate
kidding.
that.
I was only kidding.
I mean, you got to throw your jabs in, you know. It is a wrestling.
My backhands. That was my backhand.
Oh, I think I lost a tooth.
Oh, shit. Well, at least I didn't use a foreign object. Because if I would have...
I would have had to watch out.
Well, you would have lost more than a tooth.
Oh, yeah.
You would have lost your life. So anyone would keep your life. Any last words?
I think we need to end on that live. If you can make a remix of that, like the lie, like hit it up. I don't know. See what you can do with that, guys.
No, that's some old metal shit. I'm trying to get into a black metal band. I'll cover the black part.
Yeah,
but watch out for the foreign objects. Cutthemusic.etsy.com.